and welcome to Mr. Patrick's Corner. Today we're going to talk about a letter I received from my Congressman Jay Obernolte. He's in the 23rd District. I called up and asked what they're going to do with Purdue Pharmaceutical. You know, the pharmacy that made the OxyContin, the codeine. And I called up Katie Porter's office, and they told me, well, the Purdue Pharmaceuticals can't bid on any government contracts. They killed 560,000 Americans, and it looks like nothing's going to happen to them. And I asked a simple question. Are we going to see asset forfeiture? Are we going to take over, the United States government going to take over Purdue Pharmaceuticals? Like, that should be a good punishment. We shouldn't pay back the stockholders or anybody else. They were in cahoots with this deal. The Sacklers are not going to go to jail. They're not going to get fined. They're rich people and they're white, so naturally we're not going to do anything. So I asked, and I got this strange letter back from Obernolte office, and he didn't say anything about what I asked. So I'm going to read you the letter, and I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. Dear Mr. Patrick Brown, thank you for contacting my office with your support for holding pharmaceutical companies accountable for potential issues with their COVID-19 vaccines. This is an important issue, and I appreciate hearing your thoughts regarding it. Well, I didn't ask anything about this. This is strictly because he didn't want to give me a straight answer. He come up with this nonsense. Now let's go to the second paragraph. Many Americans share your concerns over the safety of COVID-19 vaccines. It's important to note, however, that in spite of the urgency faced with developing a vaccine in the midst of a national health emergency, the Food and Drug Administration required all vaccines to meet rigorous safety and health standards before they could be distributed to the public under the emergency use authorization. In addition, FDA, the Center for Disease Control, and the CDC have been continuously monitoring the safety of the vaccines ever since they were first provided to the general public for use. I was one of the first people in this area to get vaccinated. I have been vaccinated 3 times. And the reason why? Very simple. I am the kind of guy that says, well, let's see. I'm 70 years old. I'm overweight, and I'm diabetic. These are 3 areas where they say you should be vaccinated. Okay, let's get to the next deal. I agree with you that more needs to be done to increase the transparency and the availability of information on possible adverse reactions to the vaccine. I support every American's right to make medical decisions based on all the available information, and I will not support the federal mandate requiring general public to get vaccinated. While there is no current legislation aimed at increasing the liability of pharmaceutical companies that develop vaccines, please be assured that I will keep your thoughts in mind should such a bill be introduced and come before the House for a vote. Well, that's about as dumb an answer as I've ever heard. The problem is that people need to get vaccinated. Now, we should vaccinate the high-risk people. That's me, senior citizens. And please, don't give me the baloney that vaccines aren't safe. They're very safe. When I was a kid, I got a polio vaccine. Did I get polio? No. Do I get my flu shots when they're required? Yes, I do. The idea that my congressman is so thick that his aides can't even I make a point. I want to know what they're doing about Purdue Pharmaceuticals and OxyContin. I want to put the guys in the hoosgow, but they can't put the guys in the hoosgow because we don't put rich people in the hoosgow. We don't even take their money. So basically, the Sacklers are going to get off with a little slap on the wrist, and then they're going to have... I get so angry with this deal. Our government doesn't listen to us, okay? And finally, the last paragraph. Thank you for, again, contacting me. Your thoughts and opinions are critical to the importance to me as I work to represent California 23rd District in Congress. If you would like to stay informed on what is happening in Washington, D.C. and the 23rd District of California, I encourage you to sign up for my newsletter. I sincerely appreciate your comments and look forward to hearing from you in the future. Well, when Colonel Cook was the congressman in this area, I had signed up for his newsletter. I have always wanted to know what's going on. And lo and behold, I find out that Obernolte is pushing for a bill that would make Needles a sanctuary city in accordance with the Second Amendment. Now, I agree. You shouldn't have to jump through hoops to buy ammo or buy a firearm. The easiest solution there would have it be a national identification card and not a national registration. The national registration was done in Germany under the Weimar Republic. The Nazis and the commies didn't sign up, but the Jews did. So when Hitler comes to power, first thing he knows, he collects all the guns and takes them, because they know where everybody is. You don't need a national register of weapons. What you need is a national identification card. National identification cards makes it very, very simple for employment, for gun control, for everything else. Now, what this card would do? Well, are you a felon? Can you legally receive a firearm? This cuts down a lot of red tape. It's already there. And the government doesn't know what kind of firearm that you purchased. It just has a clear green or red light. Red light, you're a felon, or you have problems. Okay? Now, I have my opinion of Congressman Obernolte. He gets paid $174,000, and he doesn't seem to have a clue what's he doing. Here in the high desert, I expect him to be figuring out how to solve the homeless problem, and I've got another video on that's coming. It's amazing what we can do when we actually think about stuff. We don't do it in this country. We're not doing enough. We have the Second Amendment, but it's like Katie Porter. She wants to ban assault weapons. There's no such thing as an assault weapon, and the simple fact is that would never pass Congress. You want to appeal the Second Amendment, like the Voger Act, the 19th? Yeah, you can do it. Get the people, pass it in the House, both houses, and then go get it through the states. The last amendment try was for the Equal Rights Amendment. They got, believe it or not, 38 states. Illinois was the last one, but Illinois passed passed for the passage of the Equal Rights Amendment, but they didn't pass it in time. I would have argued that, but hey, right now I would like everybody in this country to subscribe and like to my channel. Maybe I'm being a little pushy, but if you want to change things, you got to go. You have to get the congressman get Congress, the people who serve you in Congress, to have town hall meetings. You need to write them. You need to call them. You need to put pressure on them. If you want stuff done, these guys ain't going to do it unless you yell at them. And Obernolte from this letter is got to be, his staff must be as dumb as dirt. Well, thank you again, and I hope you subscribe and like my channel.